At her 10-year-old checkup is when we found out that she had scoliosis. Our pediatrician noticed a slight curvature in her spine. He did the bend test. It was 18 degrees. And then by the time we went back 6 months later to the local children's hospital, we did the wait and see thing. It was 32 degrees. They, said that she needs to be braced that day.
I was somewhat familiar, obviously, with scoliosis because my mother had had scoliosis. She had had it as a child, almost at the same age that Sydney was diagnosed with it.
We started looking at other alternatives because at that time it had progressed to 43 degrees.
My wife, was really the one that started doing a lot of the research, looking on Facebook and trying to find, kind of like for more like a support group.
And I got on there and I just put Sydney's story in, like, this is her age, this is what her curve is. And a guy named Kyle from Oklahoma, he messaged me. I had read that this vertebral body tethering was not FDA approved. And so I tried to, research as much as I can. Shriners was leading the charge. We knew they were the best of the best. We weren't as concerned about the FDA approval than we had seen results from other kids.
I remember the first time I went to Shriners in Philadelphia. I was nervous, but they just looked at me and just immediately started to care about me and who I was personally, on a personal level.
So with the VBT, or the vertebral body tether, the theory is that you can actually correct the scoliosis and use their growth to help improve the correction. And so what we tend to do is, through the chest cavity, we make smaller incisions and put a screw into the vertebral body, which is the bigger part of the spine, and put an anchor. The tether is kind of a rope that has a little bit of tension on it, and that allows us to apply a force on one side of the spine. So we compress one side, and then the other side can differentially grow. It's a unique environment. And I think for the VBT, that's a perfect example where there's very few places that you would ever be able to develop this and pioneer this technology and advance it the way that Dr. Samdani and the group here did. And here, the focus was on the children, that partnership. And that's the way this whole technology came about, which is pretty amazing.
Sydney hasn't worn a brace since that. She's able to do everything physically that she wants to do. She had a very good experience with her surgery. There were no complications or no issues.
Band is my favorite subject because it's something that I get to do with my friends and I get to involve my family in. I learned how to be more outgoing and to problem solve, and I know it sounds weird to say that about band, but band really is every subject in one.
I love that my kids are in music now. Sydney, of course, is in the band and she plays oboe and the saxophone, so we've got a lot of, musical influence in our family.
So she had her surgery in February and she went back to school 6 weeks later, but she was playing her oboe, practicing within 3 to 4 weeks. And so she even came to me and she was like, I can breathe. Like, she didn't notice that she couldn't breathe fully. And so now she can breathe fully. So she surprises me a lot, Sydney does. How kind she is to other people. And then the support that she gives to the girls in the scoliosis group. I'm
proud of her in a lot of different ways, right? I'm proud of her because she's a lot stronger than she thinks she is sometimes. But she does push herself. She has incredible work ethic.
I think Shriners Hospital Care is unique because I just don't think they realize what an impact they've made on my life. They've given me the opportunity to move on from my journey, all the things I've learned and all the hardships. I can take that now and help someone else. I get the opportunity to say, okay, that chapter in my life is done. What can I do now to help others that are going through the same thing that I went through? And I know how lonely that was. And so I never want anyone to feel that way. I'm so thankful that I have scoliosis because my family is closer than ever and I have amazing friends that are always there to support me. When I get older, I want people to know me as someone who always looked on the positive side and was always there to put a smile on someone's face. No matter how I felt or how bad my day was, and just not letting that reflect on other people. Just letting them know that everything's gonna be okay and there's always a positive outcome of something, even if it's hard.